Loads of the drone stuff with
But
him.
basically, it can be that you could be reported for them to look at it to see. It'll only through a test case whether they say if you're outside and you're flying inside, whether the regulations are being breached or not.
Welcome back, everyone. We're here in Greenwich at this place here, Greenwich Royal Park, and that is a big house up there. It's actually directly opposite the old Royal Navy Museum, right there, which we did the other day, and we had crybaby Chris grab the camera, do you recall? Anyway, this place is directly opposite. It's not the best weather for the drone today in terms of the video. It's going to be dull and cloudy, but it is what it is. Haven't been able to edit any videos lately because my monitor got cracked when moving it, and even though it hadn't completely gone, it was shaking all over the place. I did manage to edit one video, but it was extremely annoying and time consuming. It seems to me they've got a school trip going on here, so I've no doubt that'll make them freak out even more when they hear about the drone going up. Oh no, there's children, there's kids. Oh no! You can't possibly film kids from above. We're not going to film the kids anyway, but that's probably what they're going to say. Anyway, we'll pick it back up when we get up there. Well, we made it to the top, guys, and wow, that was a walk and a half up that hill. Very steep. We're quite high. We're about the same height as the Millennium Dome from here, which, when we were down there, was close to the maximum with the drone, from what I recall. Not quite, but not far off. So let's go and ask these ladies about the drone. Hiya, I can't see drones on there. The price for a drone.
A drone?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't take drones in.
No, across.
No, you can't use drones in. You're not allowed to use drones in the park or over the observatory.
Right.
Oh, you can, but what you can. I think you can get a permit, and you have to apply either to the observatory or to the park.
So what I want to do, I want to go down there and I want to launch it now. Over.
Right. Okay. Well, it's not allowed without a permit. You need to apply to the.
Are you in charge or?
You go. The park.
Yeah.
Police and officers are down that.
Police?
End.
Yeah, the park police, that's who would be responsible.
I don't know, you got police?
Yeah, they have their own.
Wow.
Yeah, Royal Parks. Oh, yeah.
How far away are they? I don't really want to walk too far.
Stand at the far end of this path at the Blackheath Gate.
Yeah, it's
what?
It's about 5 minutes.
All the way to the main road, or?
Yeah.
Oh, that's long. Can you not radio them?
No, because they're a separate organisation.
So if I launched it,
no, don't.
like not now, but if I go over there and I take it across.
No, don't.
No, but if I did that, would you guys then contact them, or?
Yeah, of course you would.
Yeah.
So that's a quicker way of getting there here, right? Hello.
I'm just explaining that.
I was inquiring how much it is. I can't see it on the list.
No.
What?
To go over the drone, the ticket.
It's a royal park, so all royal parks are not allowed to fly drones.
I don't know about that one, my friend.
Check it out.
I have. I think the drone's allowed, but I like to let people know before I do it because, well, it's better that you're aware, isn't it? Because if you see it, you might
No, it's not. It's
panic or something.
Check with the park.
Yeah, she was saying they're all the way down there.
yeah.
I just walked up there, it killed me.
You have to walk all the way down there. It's not far. It's flat. It's all flat.
But I don't see the need to go and let. What do you want me to let them know, or
Ask them if it's all right.
ask
and they'll
them?
tell you,
You
yeah,
can do it anyway, though.
permit.
So if I'm going to do it anyway, I mean, I may as well just crack on, right?
No.
No. So, what's the difference between here and so those black bollards?
Yeah.
Are they like a perimeter of the Royal Park, and then it's a?
The gates at the bottom.
All royal parks, no drones. Check it out.
I have checked it out.
Yeah.
I don't think you're. I think that's right. I think it's wrong.
It is right.
Yeah.
But I walked all the way through. Is that a normal park or is that all Royal Park?
This is all Royal Park.
So where I'm stood now and down there is no different, really.
Yeah.
Right. And that way, all the way to the main road, or
Yes.
right.
Yeah. Just within the walls of the park.
What about the bridleway? Wherever it was, the cuts through.
Yes.
Well, yeah, but,
If it's within the confines of the
Yeah.
park, the whole park.
no.
Why
So,
have they got 2 groups of help?
you know the bridleway? I saw one down there.
I didn't see it.
Where's it go to? You know the one that cuts through
To you without coming to
the
us.
bridleway.
So one group has
The
come
public
into
right-of-way
us,
path, that one.
planetarium. Where's it?
I saw
Some
it
have already gone
come out somewhere there, and I don't know where it goes to. But
If
They went
it's
to
within the
Yeah.
park,
planetarium.
And the other group I
then
haven't
it's
seen.
all
so
part
they
the same.
must have gone straight over.
oh no, I'm not asking in terms of the rules, but where is the bridleway? Because I know I saw one.
I'm not sure what you mean by the bridleway.
Like there's a public path, isn't there, that comes in, goes through your land, essentially, cuts across. People walk the dogs over it and stuff.
Yeah,
Go through
if
the
it's
Black
included
Heath.
in the park, it's
Yeah.
all
Black Heath
Yeah, yeah.
is common ground, so Black Heath that's
Right,
on Black Heath because that's common land. So
right,
yeah, that's
Okay.
all.
all right.
Oh, do you know, can I help her?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Tickets already?
Right, I'm just controlling
So you're saying I better go and let them know first, and they're right down there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to launch it either way. If you'd rather me go and tell them, I don't mind doing that. But I'm going to take it over regardless. And if that means you call them, and then they're going to come anyway, then I might as well just do that, right? Because then they'll come to me, right? That makes sense. No,
You don't
not.
respect the rules of the park. This part, yeah.
I'm not going to do it in the park though, am I? I'm going to fly across the park, you know? I'm not going to launch it here. Okay, look, I'll go down and speak to them. So you're saying straight down the path and then left?
Yeah. Just,
Okay.
You'll see it when you get down to the end.
All right then. And they'll be in there. They'll be there.
I can't guarantee they'll be there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can walk all that way and they might not be there. Do they generally stay in there or do they go round?
They patrol, but ideally
Ah.
you would have contacted them in advance before today.
Right. Hmm. And that little path there,
Yeah.
where's that go to? That one?
That goes to Bamber Hill, to the Bamber Hill way.
So if I was to walk along there, is that public down there or?
That's part of the park.
Right. All right. I'll see what I can do and come back.
All right.
I don't know if that's the police car, but. Well, there's no one here at all, look. So there's no signage saying no drones. There's nothing saying private property, look. Just says Greenwich Park or Royal Park, no trade vehicles, nothing else. And it's open to the public, it's publicly accessible. And we're not to know any different. So I would say going down there to launch, back near where we were, would be good to go. But we're just going to make a quick inquiry here. Or maybe we should just go down there and launch the drone. Hello, I went to tell the police. I spoke to you, right? Yeah.
This guy wants to fly a drone over the park.
I went,
Explained it's not allowed.
I went down there. There's nothing there. There's no
Oh, okay.
building to go knock a door, nothing.
Yeah, there is.
There's a green car.
It's right at the end.
Right at the far end. By
Yeah.
the
Far end by the gate.
Yeah, I went to the gate. There's a green car with a light on the top.
Yeah.
And there's a house which says private property.
On the,
It's opposite that.
I went, and opposite the house there's a building,
yeah.
but there was no like window or door or bell or nothing. So
Okay, well, but you'd have to have, you have to arrange permission in advance if you're going to get it. But drones aren't allowed in the park.
I've checked the legalities of flying the drone over the park. Let's say I was back out in public. Over.
I think that you're having this argument with us, which is a bit above our
Yeah,
pay
it's-
grade. It's not
yeah.
we can't give you permission to do this.
Okay. So we'll cut to the chase rather than explaining the legalities. I'm going to launch the drone in the park. Not here, I'm going to go down there and do it out the way. I'm going to fly over the house, round.
No, don't fly over here. We definitely know you can't fly over.
That's what I'm saying, I'm going to fly over here.
Well, no, we
round.
definitely know we don't have permission to fly over.
I know that, I'm just saying, rather than explaining the legalities, you don't want to hear that, I presume.
Yeah.
Because the gate at the front is open, and there's no private property signage on it, there's no person manning it. In effect, it's open to the public to walk in, so therefore we have access to do what we want to do, unless it's breaking the law.
You know it's a royal park. Did you read
do.
the royal park notices and everything, and the bylaws? Do you know the royal park bylaws?
It just said Royal Park, no trading
Yeah.
on the front gate, nothing else.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we specifically
Go on.
do say
Yeah.
time permitted.
Oh, it's on there?
Yeah.
Ah, but I checked the
We
bylaws.
specifically say it.
Let me have a check. I checked the bylaws and it wasn't on there. Do you know if that's part of the bylaw, or is that just like a sort of...
This is ours. We request you not to fly.
Got you,
over
got
us,
you. So-
yeah. It depends
but-
whether you respect
No,
our organisation or not.
so I suppose that's for coming in, right?
Hello, you're back
Yeah,
again.
he is.
Hello. I'm going to launch it just over there.
Yep, security are on the way, yeah.
Great. I'm going to start though. I don't want to...
But we've told you the rules, sir.
I've checked the...
If you break the rules, that's your decision.
I've checked the bylaws. There's no bylaw against it.
Yeah, you can.
Because the gate's open and I've been down there, there's no one manning it, there's no private property, just Greenwich Park. So legally it's open to anybody to walk in,
Of course,
through,
of course.
so therefore our rights apply unless it's illegal. So for example, taking a photo of something would be allowed, a drone flight would be allowed, unless told otherwise.
All royal parks, you're not allowed to fly drones.
I have checked though, if you got, I'll have another look. I've checked this one here. Is that the right one? Am I looking at the right thing? Is that the most up-to-date kind of thing to look at? I can't find it on
it's a
there.
royal park. It doesn't mention royal park, does it?
Royal Greenwich Borough of...
Yeah, but...
Oh, okay, so that's for the Royal Borough of Greenwich. Okay, we check the park.
Deputy 7 says he's on his way.
Rules of our parks and open spaces. It's the same thing, isn't it? That one at the top. Or not? Would that be the right one? Or is there another one that I need to look at more? What's allowed... Regulations and legislation, royalparks.org. But that's not just here, that's presumably all royal parks. Is that a bit more what you used to seeing?
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look.
Yeah.
Car parking regulation. Because if there is a thing about drones, I'll have to go right out on the gate and do it and fly across from there. But it's a long way to fly. You know? It's not the best weather for seeing the drone.
You would have to get permission from our press office to photograph our site.
What about all these people that presumably they take photographs and stuff? You know, of like.
Photographs are fine. You can take as
Right.
many photographs as you like,
So what's the difference?
but not flying drone.
Right.
Hi, sir.
Hello.
Yeah, could you help this gentleman?
Hello.
He wants to fly a drone,
Yep.
and he's trying to find ways of doing it. We're telling him,
I found a way of doing it. They're not happy about it.
Well, no, that's right. You're not allowed to fly here. It's a restricted area.
Can you explain?
Well, it's just that's what it is. It's restricted area.
You have to be a bit more specific than that, my friend, because I've checked the legalities of flying. Let's just say I was out of the park and the drone came across. That's 100% allowed, but I'd rather launch it in the park, personally, because it's closer. I can see the drone.
Well, you can't. It's a royal park, so it's restricted.
that's the difference.
That's the difference.
Royal park.
It's a royal park, so it's restricted.
Do you have, I'm trying to check the legislation here, but I can't really find much. If you've got it on there, it'd be quicker for me. Looks like 2012 is the latest. Let's have a look. Because if it says I can't do it, then I'll have to go out and bring it across. Like it can go over either way. It's just a case of where I am that I'm concerned about, really.
Yeah, well, if you go out the park and go in, on the common, go outside, then fly it. But yeah, but otherwise you can't do it from in here.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm trying to get around is that bit.
You still can't fly over our building.
yeah.
I can.
No. You need permission from our press office.
That's wrong.
Filming in our premises is not allowed unless you're
In the premises, yeah.
no,
So if I was here,
premises.
But if the drone's up there, looking down, filming obviously.
Just to
But,
let you know, the
Yeah,
Harris
not right.
Academy are here waiting to go up to the star room. They're just using the toilet.
well, from what you were saying, you're okay with that?
2 minutes over.
Or is he above?
Thank you
Is he
for letting me
sort of
know.
above you in terms of decision making, or who would be?
You would need permission from our press office to film our premises.
Okay, but I believe you're.
You would have to pay for that.
How much?
I don't know. You'd have to contact the press office.
I'll give you a tenner now for it.
Doesn't work.
20 quid? I'm joking,
Doesn't
mate.
work
Anyway,
like that.
I'll buy you a coffee. Turn a blind eye.
No, need more than that.
2 coffees.
But
Not even sure if you do pay, but you're going to need to get permission from the press office. I was talking to the senior press officer because she was randomly here last week.
I think you're mistaken though on that. On
sorry, I'm
the,
not mistaken.
I think you're mistaken
We
about
work here.
about the drone part. Is he the park police or is he just?
He's asked.
Okay.
She's
Okay.
asked security, not the park.
I would like you to
Security for the
speak
park,
to
it's
the
the
park
Met Police.
security
The,
and see what their reaction is.
Do that. Sorry, say that again.
I would like you to speak to the park security.
The police. Yeah.
And ask their permission.
I don't want their permission. I mean, if I start and they deem it to be a problem and they come and find me and tell me to land it and explain to me what I'm breaking, fine. But I'm trying here to look at the legislation right now. I've got something up. Let's have a look. It just talks about prohibit activities, their powers if we're committing an activity
so are you
that's
filming
prohibited.
now?
What do you mean?
Right, camera.
The body, it's on the whole day, that is. Yeah, it is on, to be fair. Yeah.
Okay, lovely.
Yeah.
Thanks for telling us.
Told you no.
Well, without asking.
I'm not here to film you here. I'm here to film a video from the drone.
Okay.
But I've had people in the past try and stop me flying the drone, and I didn't have a body cam, and it got quite physical, and I wish I had a body cam. So now it's there, just in case people try and,
We're not going to get physical.
No, you're Royal Park security, but other places that are less professional do. Yeah.
I object to you filming, so.
Okay, fair enough.
Nah, as he is now.
I've heard your concern. But if I turn it off, and he twists me up, and I say, oh, he just twisted me up, and you guys are like, oh, we didn't see nothing, right? Then
I can't even put my hands on you. So I haven't got the authority. So.
yeah, but you know that, but some people don't know that.
Oh, yeah,
and,
no, yeah.
You know, it's
You're obviously trying to prove a point, so. We're not going to win.
well, I could have just got it out already and took it up. I'm willing to try and listen to the. I don't want to be breaking any legislation, and I seem to have found something now. So I'll have a little quick read of it first. Because if I have to go out there, I'll go out there. But I'd rather do it in here. It's closer.
I'll look on YouTube for the video.
YouTube? Why are you presuming it's going on YouTube?
Hi.
Tell us the primary. Oh, we have tickets. The primary in process.
Have you called somebody, my friend? Or should I just crack on?
What's that?
You called somebody else, have you?
No, it's just that obviously you can't, even if you go out and fly over,
Yeah.
you still can't do it until you speak to our press office. So if you speak to the press office, and say that, it's up to them. But you can't even do it, you can't even launch it from in here, or if you go outside, you can't fly over.
Right.
Either way, you still can't do it.
I believe I can, so if I go and do it, well, what's going to happen?
Wrong time to come.
I mean, I can't jump up and get it.
No, I know that, I'm aware there's park police. I've been down there to look for them. I can't find them.
Well, yeah, I mean they're based. I mean they're based here, but I mean they obviously drive around. They don't stay in here, unfortunately. So
All right.
yeah, so. But
I'm going to go and launch it. I'm going to go on that little pathway down there, the one that cuts through. Look there, see it with the bollards on it.
we're still in the park.
I get that, but
Wait.
at the minute I'm not finding anything that stops me. I'm trying to, but if these park police turn up and say, "Oh, this legislation stops you doing it," then I'll move on. But
No, but we told you can't do it.
yeah, but people say that all the time.
Yeah, but we
Do you know what I mean?
Well, I'm not saying it for fun. There are signs. We can't get, but if there's a sign, there should be a sign in here saying that you can't. There's no drones.
Any news or not?
That's just as my manager. So
All right.
He's going to call the park police and they'll come down and have a look at you.
All right.
So,
I mean, I found something. Use of unmanned aerial systems in royal parks.
yeah, well, that's it. That's drones.
I know that, but it says under park regulations, regulation 6, no person using the park, so using the park, shall 13, in contravention of a notice exhibited by order of Secretary of State, or after being requested by a constable not to do so. And then it says, use a kite, model aircraft, mechanically propelled or operated model. So presumably that's a drone.
Yeah.
The flying of a drone becomes a prohibited act once a constable has asked a person to stop flying it, or if a notice is displayed in a park stating it's a prohibited act. So there's no notice in this park stating that. Well, I can't see any. So presumably I can do it until they tell me to stop.
But it is on the gates. They're on the gates.
Look at that gate down there. It's not on that gate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's fine, mate. Yeah, just I'm really getting now. Navy gate on Navy gate. Mate. You come up? All right, fine.
Yeah, so I've read that as some parks may have it on a prohibited list.
Yeah.
Here it doesn't. Well, that gate hasn't got no prohibited list at all. Nothing.
Well, we've got an our gates down the bottom, so it's.
What if I walked in that way? So I've been down there, and I may have come through that gate to here.
Yeah.
There's nothing. That gate just has Greenwich Park on it. No trading, it says. So I've walked in, I've looked around, no signs. I've walked to here, no signs here. So therefore, I believe I could go and do it unknowingly. Police constable comes to tell me it's a prohibited thing, and then I got stopped, right?
Well, yeah, like we told you. Like we told you.
But you're not a constable.
No, but. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Alright, yeah, sure. Alright. Alright, cool, cheers. Cheers, mate, sir. Yeah, that's a mad game. So they've, like I said, they've been informed. So they're gonna.
All right, no worries.
So
Yeah.
if they want to talk to you, they'll talk to you.
Cool.
But okay.
Thanks for your time, mate.
That's right. Okay.
So we've managed to find out some legislation. Well, yeah, legislation. If it's not on a prohibited list, signposted in the park, then it becomes a prohibited act once the constable tells you to stop. Which seems a bit ambiguous, because it seems to me that it would be therefore technically allowed. Anything's allowed until the constable decides it's not allowed. So they could pretty much walk in and say, well, we're telling you to stop doing that, and that's a prohibited act. Now we've told you not to. But I don't know how far we're going to get before we can get this drone up. Chances are we're going to have to go, probably land it again and go back out once this constable turns up. But we'll see. We've checked on drone assist. No flight restrictions here, look. If I just change, there we go. If we untick all of this on drone assist, it's a lot clearer to see. There's Greenwich Park there. There we are, good to fly.
mate, you alright?
Hello, mate, you alright?
Drone up, have you?
Yeah, right there. I didn't see you guys approaching. Where'd you come from?
Right there.
All right.
You were looking down here, so
Yeah,
you
yeah,
probably
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah,
see
yeah,
something. Unfortunately, you can't fly drones in here. I know you've probably looked on the side. It says you can, doesn't it?
It's a bit of both.
Yeah, it's a bit of a grey area.
Can I'll land that there, we'll talk.
Oh yeah, go on, I'll let you do
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
I'm going to get out of your way.
No, you can carry on talking, mate. I just, as it's right there, I thought we'll just, yeah.
So, basically, it's under the Royal Parks regulations.
I had a look online,
Yeah.
spoke to them. They're not too happy about it, but they're never going to be.
No, so...
Okay.
Go on, try it.
Oh, go on.
Yeah, so the actual legislation around drones, this is in a zone you're allowed to fly.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, and
It's all about the CFA website, so that you can go where there's the flyer zone, and there's a map of red zones and green zones.
the way this changes, because it's a Royal Park, there's Royal Parks regulations.
So I checked on there,
Yeah.
well, what I could find.
So basically, it comes under the
Model aircraft.
model aircraft and motor
I've got
control
it in-
basically.
If you can, I've had a good look and I couldn't
Yeah.
find anything
No.
specific too much, but
Yeah, basically, what you've got to think
the
is
answer.
these regulations
Freezing.
come out in 1996
right.
7.
or 97.
Yeah.
So obviously, you've got to look at it. It's all to do with like remote control, which this would come under, but it doesn't mention drones specifically because drones weren't invented
Okay.
at the time.
So the drone's exempt then, right?
No, it can't be that you just bring something in. It takes it. It's like around music and stuff. Mobile phones weren't then.
Under the section 313, it comes under sort of the model
Oh, yeah.
aircraft or any mechanically propelled vehicle operated model. So the drone comes under that.
So I think I read that, and then it says somewhere on there, 13, right? And then when it go on prohibitions,
Yeah.
it basically
Well,
says
it's
that
notification, and on all the gates as you come in, they have got an extra one now that says no flying of drones in the park.
not here.
Yeah, they have. It's at the top. We just walked past it.
I went out there
Yeah.
to look. I couldn't see anything, but
They've got like it's like in their notice board. They've got like I think they've actually got a picture
So
of the drone on it as
in
well.
order to do it in the park, you have to get permission from the Royal Parks. If they gave you permission, you're allowed to do it.
yeah.
What I can guarantee you,
They would.
they won't give you permission.
So what I read is that, but also that basically, if it's on a bylaw, if it's listed as a prohibition,
Yeah.
or if it isn't, or it's not clear, which I'll be honest, I have been out there to look for you guys,
Yeah.
and there's a big sign saying Greenwich Park. I couldn't see anything else. Where would it be from the main gate?
So on the main gate, it's like I'm sure they've got the picture of the drone saying no flying the drones in here as well as an
Really?
extra state. But all these regulations are on all the gates.
It says
Come in.
or a constable.
Yeah.
Which
So
Yeah.
it,
So when we come and
it
say it
becomes
to
a
you-
prohibited
Yeah,
when we
now
tell
told
you-
thing
Yeah.
when you tell me
not.
Yeah.
not to do it, and I carry on, right?
So hence why we don't report you, because basically we say don't do it,
Yeah.
and then you go and do it,
Yeah. That's
then you
stupid.
get
right?
reported
yeah.
for it. The regulations are a bit different. So you get bylaws,
Yeah.
but the actual regulations are like a statutory power. So they're above what we call bylaw. It is law itself. Bylaws are just local enforced.
Sorry, I just
It's a bit much of it is, you know what I mean? But yeah, so the regulations are a full-on
Yeah.
police power.
Should we go over there? I want to see what he's come for. Do you mind?
No, I don't know.
Are you nosy?
No, they're probably having a chat.
Are they?
I can't imagine that a call's been made for you
So-
for this. We just get it from the observatory, to be honest.
What I read, and then I told them, I said to them, in my eyes, it says basically, I can do it until a constable tells me not to,
Yep.
if I'm doing it in the park.
Yeah.
So I said to them, I'd like to fly down there. If I go all the way at the park and fly, it's miles away.
Right,
Not going to be able to do it.
No.
So I said, either way,
Abide by the other rules of line of sight.
there you go, right? And it's bad
Yeah.
weather.
Yeah.
So I thought, if I go all the way out there and fly it, I can do that regardless, but it won't be ideal. So I'll do it here while I can.
Yeah.
If I get stopped,
You get told not to.
I'll have to go back out there.
Yeah. So if you go out there,
And I fly across.
you have to have it. There's a meterage. I can't even think what a meterage. You have to go back on the
Oh,
site.
what, sorry, meterage?
Yeah, there's like a metre distance.
Right.
And I think it's something like 50 metres from you to your drone.
Oh, no, I don't think that's correct, no.
You have to have a look at it. There is definitely, because we've had something where, in all honesty, someone was trying to do it out there and it all got about how they could do it and not do it.
Right.
And it got to the point, in order to do it, they would probably have had someone spotted in the park, watching the drone.
Are you saying, what I think you're saying is
Yeah.
that somebody from down there would not be able to see their drone all the way down here, is that what you're trying to say?
That's what they say. It's to do with line of sight. If you go on,
So now line of sight, that makes sense.
if I had, we've got like this thing and it comes out, it's got all dotted all the rules.
Yeah,
but I haven't got my phone with me to bring it up on.
Yeah, yeah. So line of sight is a law on
It's
drones.
basically, yeah, it's line of sight. I can't remember the meterage.
There's no meterage, but you have to be able to see the drone.
Yeah.
From down there in this weather.
If I could bring it up, because we've got like the proper printouts now
Yeah,
of what it is. But
Yeah.
I just haven't got it with
Yeah.
me, to be quite honest.
I thought you park police were going to be called. How come you're a normal constable, aren't you?
So yeah, it's basically the Royal Parks used to have its own constabulary back in I don't know, years ago. 2002, all changed. Metropolitan Police took over.
Oh right.
That doesn't exist. Metropolitan Police now do this bit, hence why we're dressed like this. Maybe for not much longer, but anyway, there you go.
Oh right. Oh, are you for the park though?
Yeah, so we're attached to the park. but we
right. So
think
you are
that's
for the park.
But we think that's all changing anyway, so we might not be much longer
Right.
anyway. There's loads of cutbacks coming.
Yeah.
So look, they're the rules on it, I'm afraid. Like,
Yeah.
Our interpretation, I don't think they're anything to do with you.
No, they weren't here for that.
No, in all honesty, units like to come in here because
Sorry, I was chatting to my mates him for years. Sorry.
All right.
But yeah, so that basically is the rules
Yeah.
around it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
as
yeah.
soon as the drone comes up in here, we get a call. I'm going to be
Right.
honest with you.
Yeah.
They said they'd call the park police, and I said, well, I've done my.
Coming out,
Oh.
little girl, 3-year-old.
Oh,
She
okay.
spotted you from a mile away, so
Did she?
Oh.
she might come and say
That's
hi.
photo time for you guys, isn't it?
Yeah, look, that's it. It's always say
So
don't do it.
if I go out in public and I take it across, are they going to be okay with it? Are they going to call you back or?
Yeah, they're going to call us because there's a drone up there, and there's no way you're going to have it line of sight from where you are.
It's all,
It's
it's all,
interpretation.
it's thing, so like, I've got to have it in a visible line of sight.
So I've done my close flight. I've done my flight around here that I wanted. I've got to do a little bit finishing things. I can do that down there. I don't have to bring the drone all the way down here for that. I can keep it sort of in between here and there, straight up probably, and do a high shot of the city and the.
If you're asking
Park.
us, the answer is no.
Right, no, just
All right.
if I go and do that, you're not going to be called back to stop me again, are you?
No, we're going to go and say hello to our little
I
fan.
don't know. Right, I'm telling you, if they spot another drone, right, even if the drone's over there and they spot it, they would still call us.
Can you not go and tell them now that
or-
that
I'm stopping this.
No,
There's,
we can't authorise you
we've
to
got
do it.
someone. There's a person in here. He's flying a drone on a bike, and we've had about.
on a bike?
Yeah, he's doing a bike.
Do you know,
He's doing-
because you could, like, he's
follow
basically
you or
tracking
something.
himself on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I've had about 6 emails in the last 2 weeks for him.
If you do anything in this park,
But now you've spoke to me,
yeah.
and we've agreed that out there it's lawful to fly across.
Well,
you could
I
tell
didn't say
them.
it's lawful. I said just it's line of sight, and that'll be where the interpretation comes in, wasn't it? And if we don't think it's a safe line of sight,
Especially on a day like this where it's quite foggy. You
Yeah.
have to be even closer.
Line of sight, I can agree, but we could also agree
I put it
that
on my phone the bit on. Do you know the printouts we've got? I haven't got it with me. Otherwise, I would show you it all where it is.
essentially I have to
And
be able
it's
to see
quite
the drone,
Yeah.
right,
and
at all times if I want to
and
see
you've got
it.
to be able to
It's all about
safety of
it's all
people
about
there.
having certain heights as well with crowds of people. It's got to be a like below a
I
certain
guess you're
height
not
or
going to have
above
much of a
certain
crowd
height.
of people today.
No, I mean
I'll give you the benefit, definitely
it
there.
can go anywhere apart from over a crowd, basically.
Unfortunately,
So
this is just a bit of a grey area in this park. I'm going to be
is
honest
it?
with you.
Is it grey area?
Well, it's a grey area in the sense you've got one site that says you can do it, and then the Royal Parks regulation says you can't.
The way I interpret that is Royal Park can have whatever
you-
rule they want if you're in the park.
Well, this is where it comes. Then it comes. Do you breach the other regulations? If we think you breach the other regulations,
That's another matter, isn't it?
right,
Yeah.
that goes.
That's law.
Yeah, that becomes.
These are law as well.
They are law, but, yeah, but it's within the park. But what happens with that is, park regulations are dealt with locally
Yep.
as normal. So you doing it, we would report you for it. Chances are, you just get a warning. Second time round.
If there was a sign up and I breached the sign and now I just cracked on.
yeah,
Yeah,
But
yeah.
under the other bits, they are.
Hello, mate. You right? Yeah, good, thanks.
You're obviously famous.
Getting recognised all the time now. Fucking hell. Are you're telling them, right? Or mate, you're telling me? They're hassling me, mate.
But yeah, look. On the other one, that's when.
I put drones up on TikTok, see, so
Yeah,
that's what it was.
I'm guessing you obviously. But yeah.
So you're saying if I go out there, it's lawful, providing I have line of sight and providing I'm following all the drone regulations I should be, which you don't know if I will be, but I'm just saying if I am. It's not a park issue, is it, if I'm in the airspace, right?
There is another bit about flying over Crown Estates, and I'm thought like because we had
this
something
is-
recently with drones. And I thought I haven't got it with me.
Hampton Court.
No, it's all about Crown Estates and like they're flying it over the Crown Estates, if that makes sense, because it's a Royal Park. It belongs to it's the Royal Park's charity.
When I did a Hampton Court,
yeah.
they showed me something like that on the internet,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
came down to it was more of a kind of a request
Oh, is it? Oh.
I think so, how I read
You're
it.
probably going to know
Yeah.
a lot more than
You
me.
know a
mate.
lot more than us, but what will end up at...
Well, I wouldn't say I know more than you. Maybe on my specific drone I do, but
that's
other
what
than
I mean.
that,
But
Master subject.
at some point, something will end up as a test case, won't it? That will be.
I don't
what
want to be a test
happens.
case, mate.
Well,
No.
that's what will end up happening. Someone like, because where this come about for us was someone questioning every bit, a little bit like you, but far
Really?
more than what you're doing.
Right.
About outside, inside, can you, can't you, and.
The one bloke who knows it is the bloke who took the phone call.
Yeah, he
when
took
he's
the
not
phone
here.
call and he was-
'Cause he dealt with the other guy, so he went into loads of the drone stuff with
But
him. about
basically,
it, so he's like,
can be that you could be reported for them to look at it to see. It'll only through a test case whether they say if you're outside and you're flying inside, whether the regulations are being breached or not. Now, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what constitutes their boundaries.
So the way I see the law is
I don't know how high up you've got to be, how low you've got to be. That would be an interpretation by a court.
you can fly anywhere that you're allowed to fly, so a red zone and all that
Yeah,
sort of
yeah,
stuff,
which
like you
you're-
can't, yeah?
we know
Here's
you're in.
okay, lawfully in terms of airspace, right? If it wasn't a park, there's no issue flying here, right? Providing I follow the drone rules. 400 feet maximum, line of sight, no crowds. They're the main ones, to be fair. Taking off on private property is not against the law, but it's not meant to do it. Royal Park obviously have their own bylaws and rules for in the park. So if I'm in here and they say no photography, I've got to follow that. And if I don't, you can say you've got to go. If I go out there and I fly across, essentially it'd be nothing to do with them, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah. So this is where when I say about it have to be a tested case. For a court to decide, not we couldn't decide it, but say you was out there and you were doing it, and I reported you for flying your drone in a royal park under the Royal Parks regulation. Now, it's not for me to say that you've definitely breached that. And
you just report it and let it go.
Your opinion would be I haven't. My opinion might be you have. And in the end, the only person that can decide would be a judge, or through the courts.
Or your superior, when you report it, they'd have to authorise the...
In all honesty, even then, in order to get it to where it would be, whether it has definitely breached or not, would be a court making that decision. So like most laws, quite often it's through stated cases where law gets created.
And then every case will follow that case, right?
As an assumption, yes. Unless then someone appeals that case.
So it could be my name versus the Crown, referred to for many, many years.
In all honesty, that's what you're looking at. So it's not me. I understand where you're coming from.
But the airspace has nothing to do with the park, unless it's literally here.
That's where I think where it'll be is, where does the airspace for parks land finish? Where does it?
I think it would apply to any business. So your house, if I fly it into your back garden and it's affecting your enjoyment of your land, it's a problem. But if I'm above the roof, quite high above the roof.
And the only unfortunate bit you get within the Royal Parks is there's a regulation that's about as wide as you can get, and it's called comfort and convenience of other park users.
It's basically interfering with people's safety, comfort and convenience.
In essence, with that one...
So that's similar to enjoying your land. If I fly the drone just above you, it's clearly going to stop you enjoying the land, right?
But because there's a proper actual regulation in here, my understanding on that one, if you was outside but doing something that impeded somebody inside, so say your drone was above and someone complained to us, I don't like that drone being up there, it's affecting my...
Have to be reasonable though, right? If I was flying really low and it's buzzing around, then
Depends what they say and who says what.
You
know, especially if there was a group of kids, reasonably we could go, they're not really happy about that or something like that, I don't know.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
You've got to be reasonable, right? As an officer and as the person flying the drone. If I'm right up there, you know that's not going to be pissing people off.
Again,
we try and use as much common sense as we can.
So, under that circumstance, being outside the park wouldn't, I think if that went through to a court, they will probably go, well, I know you're outside the park, but in all honesty, your action did breach that regulation. Inside. So I think there's a percentage chance. I think the courts would probably definitely, well, not definitely, but
if I was flying my drone,
it's a bigger chance they side with us.
As a nuisance, you're saying?
The other side, it's all I can say is
if it's high enough that no one even knows it's there,
then
I think it's like
in all honesty,
we can't tell you it's okay, but if it's high enough and no one knows
I'm going to say to you,
aren't probably going to call us, are they?
If we got called, we would probably have to go down the road again. Look, you can't do that, as we just
would you?
maybe.
Would you try and restrict the activity?
Well, no. I'm not gonna,
No, you know what I mean. Like, would you try and?
we don't know.
Stop
It depends on what it is. You know, we hope the people, we're reasonable. We hope the person we're talking to is reasonable.
Yeah.
And you get to the answer you want to get to for everyone.
So in hindsight, if that gate was a lot closer, if it was, and I could fly the drone low, not low, but around the building from the gate with line of sight, then
But in all honesty, what could
I
happen?
can't hear.
From a hypothetical point of view, we might go, okay, look, we can't hypothetically say yes or no, because we might be thinking it could be. We could report you, but that doesn't mean we prosecute you. It might be then someone looks at it and goes, no, we think that's all right, or
Yeah.
someone high above our chain level just makes that decision after we've reported you. But it doesn't mean we couldn't report. It just means, it doesn't mean that we'd have enough evidence to prosecute. It's like, and that's when I said to you, it's slightly grey area in a park like this compared to if you was up at Hyde Park,
They're
you
in
just
no
can't
red
do
zone
it.
straight
Well,
because
it's a no-fly zone, right? So
It's because of all sort of the buildings
So,
around there.
all the other
Westminster and the
Palace and
yeah.
everything
all the
else.
other parks,
So they're
the Royal
quite lucky
Parks-
because they're like, we're in a red zone straight away.
Well,
It's
all
still
the
a Royal
other-
Park, but we're like,
all the
we're
other
not in
Royal
the red zone.
Parks are in the red zones.
But would that not say that the red zone's not needed for Royal Parks? It might cover them there due to what's around.
Well, those buildings, like technically, so even the roads, you know, the roads surrounding Buckingham Palace and all that,
Yeah.
they are Royal Parks. So technically, the palace is inside that Royal Park boundary.
But I think the red zone is not there for the park. I think it's there for like the Palace,
Yeah.
Big Ben,
Yeah.
Westminster.
Because how much the red zone's got to be found out. So like, if you pin drop where the palace is, it's got to fan out so much.
Of course, in case the drone,
covers it,
yeah,
doesn't it?
can look in.
I can't
So it
tell you how
covers
many
that
hundred
area.
metres it is.
I wouldn't
but
say
it's-
specifically they've done it just for the parks. I think it's because where they pin drop, what location they don't want to fly zone. It's like that.
Well, they'd do one
circumference
here,
around-
wouldn't they, if it was for parks, I think?
Yeah, no.
Surely
it's-
they must have done.
Yeah.
The red zone
Yeah.
isn't designed around a Royal Park.
No,
That's like,
It's
we're saying
designed
this
around
one's not in it.
the
it's what I'm saying.
buildings that are within that
Parliament and
Yeah.
basically
all that lot.
government buildings.
Yeah.
And, royal buildings.
So in hindsight, if I was to come here today and not come in, fly my drone somewhere, and I'm like, oh, there's a park there, let me fly over that. Do you see my point? Anybody could do that, right, from somewhere around the park.
Yeah.
Could fly across.
Then it goes back down to that line of sight, doesn't it? It's like you've got to sort of have that line of sight.
No, but forgetting that, pretend there's a gate close by that somebody can, in theory, walk past and go, oh, what a beautiful place, let me fly my drone here.
Yeah, outside, yeah.
Outside, flying across. I don't think a cross could be ever prosecuted unless they were really pissing people off with the drone. Because it would be a no-fly zone.
Well,
that's the answer we can't give
No,
you.
but
That's what we can't accept. It'll be one of those
I'm having like a healthy debate about it. Like,
Without a proper stated case, we couldn't tell you.
It'd be one of those ones that would have to go and then someone else would have to make that decision, and then, like you said, all the other cases after that would then look at that one and use that as an example. Sort of.
But it would probably go through the courts, and it
But
would
we're
be
not going to
looked
do.
at-
We're not going that way today.
no, but I mean, every drone pilot needs to check their map, right, their fly app or whatever. And if here's okay to fly, they're going to fly.
Yeah.
And if they were then told, oh, well, by the way, we saw your drone and we linked it to you and we've reported you for breaching a park rule, they're going to go, well, I had no idea it was a park rule.
The defence would be,
come down and
I've
just
checked
explain.
this, check this,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
says this, and that would be part of the defence, wouldn't it?
That'd be my defence.
Exactly.
Other than I've spoke to people,
Yeah.
and no one's really had a clear answer. But
this
you
is
know,
why we've had to come down and say, like,
It's interesting, man.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
we've
yeah.
been told, it comes under that sort of model aircraft. And
oh, for sure. Yeah, that's why I landed it, and I'm going to go
No, yeah.
back out
Don't get me wrong,
We've got
some
to go that
law
way
is
anyway.
very straightforward. It's either a yes or a no answer to it,
right.
but some bits aren't as straightforward.
Okay.
And unfortunately, this is one of them.
So if I go back out and do my last little bit, I'm not going to come down here because I probably won't be able to see that drone. I'll be honest, mate, with the weather.
Yep.
I will come across the
We're
gate,
not going to
but
pull out an eyesight test to make you stand like that far away. No, like the old ones where you've got to read the alphabet. We're not going to have one of them in our pocket.
But like we say, you know the regulations and you know them quite well by the sounds of it,
We're just
and
saying
you know the
it
rules
can't
around
happen
now
in
on the
here.
site.
Because you're here
So-
and
Yeah,
you're in
that's
here,
it.
we've just had to ask you to stop.
of course, yeah.
Right, so we're dealing with it in here. If you do it outside and it breaches something or it's judged to
We
breach
might
something,
see you in another hour when we get another
and that'll
phone
be
call.
something different.
Yeah.
But for what's happening here now, we're saying go do it in the park, which obviously we've
But you
established.
can't tell them, providing he's outside.
No.
There's not a lot as a park we can do.
No, because it depends on what you're doing, and it depends. Then it comes down to obviously line of sight, etc. Like we've already.
But that's not a
discussed.
park issue, right?
Well, if we're talking about line of sight,
Yeah.
then we're talking about under the other legislation, and that becomes the issue under that legislation as well. So there will be that argument on line of sight, and that will be interpreted if we think it is line of sight or not line
I
of
mean,
sight.
as a park, park rules. He's not breaking them if
You want me to give you a definite answer and I can't give you a definite answer?
Yeah, unfortunately.
I thought you could. I thought you could say to them, look, providing he's out there, we feel that he's not breaking any park bylaws or rules. Yeah. And providing he's got line of sight, he's not breaking any
we
law.
We won't go and say that to them, but basically if they called us up, we would judge it for what we see and then we would take what appropriate action.
Because I know there was this other thing about all the Crown Estate and everything else, and it was like...
Yeah, have a look. Because
but if I've got a call back on it, I'll make sure I've got the stuff with me.
All right.
Definitely to go.
Show you like that little book. It's just easier to show people and go, well, because then you can go back and have a look at it as well, can't you? You might be like, well, actually, I don't think that covers that.
But we'll have a chat with them anyway.
Just for us as well.
They should know most of it. They know
it's
a bit around the park.
It's a new technology, isn't it? There's not really many laws around the drones, so well, apart from like the ones we've already discussed. That's the thing. Technology moves at a faster pace than sort of law, if that makes sense. You've got like sort of the e-scooters and e-bikes and things like that as well. Obviously, it moves a lot quicker. But right,
I think I'm going to go down there and do it. I'm not going to go out there because I need to go that way. So I'll go out the park.
We've got to go that way. So
we go that way. But as we said, you kind of talk a bit about the Royal Park regulations, and then you know you have a legislation yourself anyway, don't you?
If you do get a report, I won't be in the park. Just so you know, I'm not going to go and launch it down there sneakily.
If we get a report.
I am going to go back out.
We'll have to come and have a look.
But we have to come and deal with the report that we get, and we just deal with it from there, basically.
I just don't want to walk all the way down there to walk all the way back out.
Nah, mate, go the way you need to go.
You go wherever you want, but as you say,
we've got to go that way.
All right, guys.
As you say, if we get a report, we just have to come and deal with it for what we get.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you. Cheers. You working, my friend? Yes.
Yeah.
I spoke to the police about the drone. They've said in here, if I'm in here, I can't do it. Which is what the legislation said. If a police officer says, don't do it, it then becomes a prohibited act.
Right.
Off the land, I'm okay. So I did a little bit of flying, I had to land it to talk to them.
Right.
So I'm going to go off the land that way, wherever that is, by the station maybe.
The Mayshill station's down the bottom there.
Yeah, I'm going to go off onto public land, bring it back across. So if you do see it, I'm not here anymore, I am going to go off the park.
Right.
Just so you know, don't report it again if you see the drone, because I'm not going to be here.
Okay, we might end up with but yeah.
Okay.
You know, once beyond this Pebbles sort of not our problem. Yeah, I know that sounds
I got you.
But you know what I mean. We're just for the observatory bit here. So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go off the park.
Right.
Quick flight over, take the drone back where I am, and I'm gone.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Okay.
Thank you. Royal Observatory, Greenwich. Let's get out of here. Now, when you watch this video, you will have seen all the drone footage in one go. I don't know yet whether I'll do 2 drone flights on the video. But the police interrupted the drone flight and I landed it as they were right there, and the drone was also right there at the time. So I don't know whether I'm going to join the 2 flights together and put the police at the end or not. Either way, you now know the score with what's happened. So on my way out, guys, going out a different way than I came in here, managed to find this little thing here, look, stuck in there. Flying of drones or model aircraft in the park is prohibited by the order of Secretary of State. And then it lists all the royal parks there. But I mean, that's the only thing I've seen, look. So yes, it's there. It most definitely was not on the main gate, right up there, which we checked. Now, I didn't come in this way, but let's have a look, because as far as I'm aware, if that little thing there is the only thing they've got, they can't reasonably expect somebody to see that and obey it. Which is why the legislation does state, or a police officer, or no, a constable tells you to stop. And no, there's nothing here, look, at all. So I don't think reasonably anybody can be expected to follow that. But as I say, when told not to by a constable, it then becomes a prohibited act. So either way, once the police arrive, you do need to stop doing it. So everybody, we are finished here at Greenwich Royal Park, and it seems to me that drones are not allowed to be flown from inside any royal park, which you know, seems reasonable, but they need to make it a bit more clear, especially at that particular park, because the other gate didn't have anything on it, the main big gate. The way I came in initially, I think it's down here. I think it's on this corner. We'll have a quick look. But either way, that little tiny sign in the corner of the billboard is the only thing I've ever seen so far. So nobody can be reasonably expected to, you know, see that. The only thing I did see is the legislation, which I had to Google. And it's not that easy to find, but I found it. And it's the same one that the officer had in his hand. And it does state on there that it's prohibited if it's listed by the Secretary of State, clearly, or a police officer, or constable, sorry, tells you. And that's the one I went with. Get as much done as possible until we're told not to by constable. Turns out they have got it listed, however, it's definitely not clear. So this is the way I went in initially. The only thing, oh look, it's not on here. Got some regulation thing here, look, tiny little thing. Operate a metal or mineral detector. Take photographs of still or moving objects for the purpose or in connection with the business, trade, profession or employment or any activity carried on by a body of persons, whether corporate or incorporate. That's an interesting one. But nothing about drones on there, I don't think. No. Except in an emergency, land a helicopter or other aircraft in a park or enter a park therefrom. Well, that one could be done because technically I had to land my aircraft in the park. But yeah, point being, there's nothing on there. Metropolitan Police mounted branch regularly patrol this park on horses. Please be aware of walking dogs. But yeah, nothing about drones. Nothing about drones on there. So, you know, how is anybody to know? They're not to know. So basically, if it's not listed clearly, you can do it, but a constable tells you not to, it then becomes prohibited. And if you don't follow that direction, or you repeat it after being, you know, told, then you're liable to a level 2 fine, I think it was. Anyway, thanks for watching everybody, and I'll see you on the next video.